Good morning. My name is Jim McGreevy. I'm the President and CEO of the Beer Institute. Thank you for the opportunity to provide the U.S. beer industry's views on the department's investigation. I speak on behalf of the beer industry, which represents 1.9% of the nation's gross domestic product, and the direct, indirect, and induced jobs of 2.23 million Americans. The Brewers Association and the American Beverage Association join us in our written comments. A majority of the volume of beer sold in the U.S. is packaged in aluminum cans and aluminum bottles made from aluminum can sheet. While 98% of our can sheet is domestic, imported primary aluminum is an essential input. Tariffs or other measures limiting the importation of primary aluminum or can sheet will hurt our economic activities and the jobs our industry supports. Imports of primary aluminum for can sheet manufacturing do not threaten U.S. national security. U.S. smelters and reliable U.S. trading partners can satisfy the military's demand. The competitive challenges U.S. smelters face are the result of factors unrelated to imports: aging facilities, high energy costs, and a strong U.S. dollar. We urge the Secretary not to impose any tariffs or restrictions on imported can sheet, primary aluminum, or ingot. The Department has trade remedy tools that it can use in a targeted manner to address unfair trade practices, as it did in its recent scope determination concerning Chinese aluminum pallets and its recently initiated investigation of aluminum foil imports from China. We urge the Secretary to recommend the continued use of such targeted actions consistent with U.S. trade remedy laws and regulations and with our international commitments. We also urge the Secretary to consider that energy costs are a key factor driving smelter competitiveness. The U.S. producers are at a severe energy cost disadvantage relative to their foreign competitors. Lower energy costs help smelters and may encourage investment in the U.S. rather than in other countries. Today, I would like to speak to another issue that should be part of the Department's inquiry and is of great concern to the beer industry: serious irregularities in the trading of primary aluminum contracts and in the storage of aluminum at warehouses approved by the London Metals Exchange. These irregularities seriously distorted the aluminum market and cost aluminum users billions of dollars. Aluminum producers themselves have some responsibility for current market conditions by taking incentives from London Metal Exchange warehouse owners to funnel aluminum away from the market. Today, U.S. producers have taken production offshore by investing in building smelters to reduce their cost of production here in the U.S. at the expense of American jobs. In November 2014, the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations issued a report that found, quote, troubling issues involving conflicts of interest, market distortions, and the potential to gain unfair trading advantages, which likely added billions of dollars in costs to a wide range of aluminum users, from beer makers to car manufacturers to defense companies that make warships for the Navy. Though the London Metal Exchange enacted reforms that resulted in significant market corrections, irregularities and distortions of the market may not be over. We've recently seen price movements that appear disconnected from market fundamentals. There are two reasons I raise this. First, as the Secretary considers whether to recommend import adjustments, keep in mind the negative impact that restrictions on supply of primary aluminum will have on our industry and that of other aluminum users. We just exited a period when artificial restrictions in the market distorted prices and hurt aluminum users. Import restrictions would likely have the same effect, leading to higher costs and in turn lost sales. Second, high aluminum prices coupled with a strong U.S. dollar make the U.S. market attractive to global aluminum suppliers, incentivizing additional imports. If the concern is imports of primary aluminum, it is critical to evaluate the role aluminum price irregularities and distortions played in creating the current situation. While imports of primary aluminum for can sheet do not threaten U.S. national security, there are actions the Secretary should recommend to the President to facilitate a functioning aluminum market. 1. Further scrutiny of aluminum price irregularities and distortions, policy changes focused on lowering energy costs for smelters, and 3. No restrictions on can sheet or its imports. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions?